Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. So in the previous classes we have looked at how to measure the different types of angles using our protractor. Yes, so in today's class let us look at few more examples of measuring angles. See children, coming to our first example, take your protractor and place your protractor on the base arm like this. Okay, on the base arm. Now here it is for the inner scale, right? Now look at the other arm. Where is it pointing on the inner scale? Yes, so it is 30, it is near 40 degrees. Now coming to our second angle, again make sure to align your protractor with the base arm. Yes, the vertex and the 90 degrees point, the center point should be the same. Now here we are looking at the outer circle. Yes, see why are we looking at the outer circle here children? Why? Because the base arm is pointing to 0 at outer circle. See here, the base arm is pointing to, if you can see here, the base arm is pointing to 0 in the outer scale, yes. So we are looking at the angle of measure or the measure of angle on the outer scale. Yes, the base arm is on the base arm is pointing 0 degrees on the outer scale. So we have to look at the angle measure on the outer scale. Yes, see, we have to look at the angle measure on the outer scale. Now look at the arm, where is it pointing? It is pointing at 120 degrees. Yes, so the angle becomes 120 degrees. Now coming to a third example, again place your protractor so that it aligns with the base arm. Now here, see here, the base arm is pointing to 0 degrees in the inner scale. So we look at the measure on the inner scale children. Where is it pointing the other arm? At 120 degrees. So the measure of this angle becomes 120 degrees. Children, so here are few more exercise problems. Again let us revise what are the steps. First step is, let us take another color. Place your protractor like this so that it aligns with the base arm. Yes, and what is the other point that you should keep in mind? The center point that is the 90 degree line is the same as the vertex here. Yes, it is the same as the vertex. Now again, what is the next step? We have to decide on which scale to use. Here the the base arm, that is our ray BC, is pointing to 0 degrees on the inner scale. So we have to use our inner scale children. As it is pointing to 0 degrees on inner scale, let us assume that here it is 60 degrees. No, not 60, it won't be 60. Yes, it would be around 40 degrees, suppose 40 degrees. So in the inner scale, on the inner scale, the reading is 40. So the measure of this angle ABC becomes 40 degrees. Is this clear? What should we do? We should place our protractor like this and then decide to whether to use our inner scale or the outer scale. Yes, after deciding, you have to look at the other arm. The reading or the marking where our outer arm is showing will be the measure of our angle children. If suppose it is pointing at 60 degrees on the inner scale and 120 degrees on the outer scale. So which one will you choose? You have to choose for 60 degrees. Why? Because here our base arm is pointing to 0 degrees on the inner scale. So you have to consider the readings on the inner scale. Is this clear children? Please try to solve many problems using protractor. Okay, so these are some exercise problems for you. You can draw angles like this at your home, and then using a protractor you can try to measure these angles. And again, how do we write the angle measure children? We use a degree as a unit of measurement. Suppose the angle is 80 degrees. So how will we write it? We'll write the number 80 and then we'll place this symbol here. So this is read as 80 degrees. Degree is the unit of measurement for our angles. Now coming to application of angles in real life. So what is the use of these angles? Why should we read? We use angles almost everywhere in our everyday life, from construction of buildings, roads and bridges, etc. to sports. So what is this? The application of angles. Where do we use our angles? Means we use our angles everyday, children, in our everyday life. Like examples are, while constructing the buildings, the builders or the architects consider angles. One again, while constructing roads and bridges also angles are considered. Even while playing sports, angles are used. Okay, children. So these are the uses of angles in our daily life. See, we use angles in our daily life, so angles are very important. Now coming to circle, we already know what is a circle. Yes, here are some examples of objects which are in the shape of circle. Now what are we going to learn about circles? We are going to learn about parts of a circle. What are we going to learn about, children? Parts of a circle. Now first, what is a circle again? A circle is a simple closed curve. Is it closed figure? Yes, it is a closed one. And is it a flat one or is it a curved one? It is a curved one. So a a circle is nothing but a simple closed curve. It is a simple closed curve. Now what are the parts of circle? We have radius, center and diameter. What are the parts of the circle? We have radius, center and diameter. Now what is this radius and what are this center? For example, if we take this, what is center? We all know center is nothing but the middle, exact middle of something. Yes, so the middle of this circle will be the center of the circle, children. The middle of this circle will be the center of the circle. Now next, coming to radius. Radius is nothing but from the center. Let me erase this line. From the center, when we draw a line segment touching the boundary of the circle, from our center to the boundary. Now from our center to the boundary, from our center to the boundary. See all these lines. So whatever lines you draw, sorry, the line segments, these are line segments, right? We are joining two end points. One end point on the boundary of the circle and the other end point is our center of the circle. So these line segments are called as radius. What are these called as, children? Radius. What is radius again? This is a circle. This is the center of the circle which is in the middle. So when we draw a line segment from the center of the circle to the boundary, it is called as radius. I hope this is clear. Yes. Now the next one is diameter. So what is the diameter now? Again, we have a line segment passing through the center. This was radius, right? From the center to the boundary. Now if this line is extended to the other side, this becomes our diameter, children. It is a straight line passing through the center of the circle and touching both the ends are touching our circle. Is this clear? It's like cutting our circle in half. Okay, it is like cutting our circle in half. Suppose if I have a circle and if I draw a line segment like this, which is touching both the boundary, whose both ends are touching the circle, this is not a diameter. Why is it not a diameter? Because it is not passing through the center. It has to pass through the center of the circle. It has to pass through the center of the circle to be a diameter. I hope this is clear. What is diameter? Diameter is a line segment passing through the center of the circle, and also both the endpoints are on the circle. It touches the circle on both the endpoints. Is this clear? This is not a diameter. Why? Because it is not passing through the center of the circle As here it is passing through the center of the circle, it is called as diameter. And what does diameter do? Diameter cuts our circle in half. Diameter cuts our circle in half. Again, let us revise. This is the center. When I draw a line segment from the center to the boundary of the circle, this will be our radius. Now when I extend the same like this, when I draw a big line passing through the center of the circle and it is touching both the ends are touching the circle, then it will be my diameter. Diameter simply cuts the circle into two parts. Okay children, so this is a radius and this is a diameter. Again, is this a diameter? Remember, this is not a diameter. Why? Because it is not passing through the center of the circle. Though it is, both the endpoints are on the circle, as it is not passing through the center of the circle, we do not consider it as a diameter, children. Now here again, each point, as we have learned in the first class of geometry, each point has a name. Yes, so here when we are talking about our radius, children, from our center to the circle. Yes, so our center is named as O. Center of the circle is simply a point. Yes or no? Yes, center of the circle is simply a point. So it is named by the capital letter, by a capital letter O here. Now from O we are drawing a line segment. Yes, it is touching our circle at this point. So again this point is named as C. So what does our radius become? Our radius becomes this line segment OC. Our radius becomes the line segment OC. Now coming to diameter, see, this is our diameter from one end to the other end. Yes, it is passing through the center. It is passing through the center. But how do we name our line segment? We name our line segment depending on its endpoints. So what are the endpoints here, children? The endpoints are A and B. So our diameter is nothing but AB. Our diameter is nothing but AB. I hope this is clear. What are these? These are the parts of our circle. What are the parts of our circle? We have a radius, we have a center of the circle, and then we have a diameter of our circle. Now coming to circumference. Look at the circle shown here. How can we find the length of the boundary of this circle? Take a thread and wrap it along the edge once exactly. See, now this is a circle, right? Now if I say this, okay, if I take this, consider this as a eraser. Now I want to find out the length of the boundary. What is the boundary? All these red line. Yes, so this is our boundary. Now if I want to find out the length of the boundary of this eraser, children, how can I find out? We have already learned this is in the shape of a rectangle and the length of the boundary is nothing but our perimeter. So we use our perimeter formula to measure the length of this boundary. Or even if we don't know the perimeter formula, what can we do? We'll take a scale. Now measure this. Suppose it is 8 centimeters. Then we'll measure this 2 centimeters. Again we'll measure this 8 centimeters. Again this 2 centimeters. So what will we do? We'll add all of these lengths together to get the total length of the boundary of our eraser. Yes. Now what about circle? If I want to find out the length of the boundary of this circle, how can I find out? Now what are they saying here? It's a little activity you can also try, children. Draw any circle and take a thread like this. Take a thread and wrap the thread around the edge. Suppose this is, I am taking a green thread. Now what will I do is, I'll place this green thread along the edge of my circle. Again, what will we do? We'll take the green thread and place it along the edge of the circle. Yes, after placing it along the edge of the circle, cut it. Okay, cut it. Now after cutting, what will we get? We'll get a piece of thread which is equal to the length of the boundary of our circle. Yes or no? We will get a piece of thread which is equal to the length of the boundary of our circle. Now take out the thread and measure its length using the ruler. The length of the boundary of a circle is called the circumference of a circle. So what should we do? We have this piece of thread, right children? Now using a ruler. Ruler is nothing but a scale. Yes or no? So using a scale, measure the length. Measure the length of our thread. Measure the length of our piece of thread. So what will it give? It will give us the length of the boundary. It will give us the length of boundary. Of what? The length of boundary of our circle. So what is the experiment again? To find out the length of the boundary of a circle, we are taking a thread and then wrapping it or placing it along the edge of the circle. Yes, okay. Again, see, placing it along the edge of the circle. Now here, as we near the end, this is our starting point. The red mark is our starting point. Okay. Now as our thread again meets the starting point, what should we do? You should cut your thread here. You should cut your thread here. Now this piece of thread is equal to our length of the circle. Yes. So now with the help of a ruler, you can measure the length of this thread. Now this is nothing but the length of the boundary of our given circle. The length of the boundary of given circle. For other shapes, like what are the other shapes children? Like for triangle, for the rectangle, triangle, square, we have learned that the length of the boundary is called as perimeter. What is a perimeter? See, all this, the length of the boundary is called as the perimeter. But when we are talking about circle, the length of the boundary, it is the same. What is it? The length of the boundary is not called as the perimeter. It is called as circumference. C-I-R, sir, C-U-M, cum, F-E-R-E-N-C-E. The length of the boundary of our circle is called as the circumference of our circle. I hope this is clear. What is circumference now? Circumference also, it is nothing but we can call it as the perimeter of a circle. For the circle, the perimeter of a circle is called by a special name that is nothing but our circumference. I hope this is clear children. What is it? The circumference of a circle. Now chord. We have learnt about the different parts of the circle, that is radius, center, diameter, and also we have learnt what is the circumference of a circle. Now coming to the next topic, that is chord. The line segment joining any two points of the circle is called the chord. The line segment joining any 2 points on the circle is called as the chord. Like for example, if I am drawing a line, this is point A and point B. Now I am joining these 2 points by a line segment. So what did we discuss? This is not a diameter. Then what is it called as? It is called as chord. C-H-O-R-D. C-H-O-R-D. So a chord is just a line segment which is joining 2 points on a circle. What is it? Joining 2 points on the circle. Like for example, even this can be a chord. It is joining 2 points A and B on the circle. So the line segment AB is nothing but a chord. Now if the same chord is passing through the center of our circle, it is called as a diameter. Is this clear children? A chord is nothing but a line segment. A chord is a line segment that is joining 2 points on the circle. Now if the same chord is passing through the center of the circle, it is called as the diameter of the circle. Now PQ and RS are two different chords of the circle. Yes, see, if you are looking at this one, it is joining 2 points P and Q. So it is called as a chord. PQ is a chord. Again, RS are 2 points on the circle which are joined by a line segment. So again, RS is also a chord for the given circle. Now look at the question here. Is the diameter also a chord? Why? Yes, diameter is also a chord. Why? Because it is also joining 2 points on the circle. The only difference is that diameter is a special type of chord. Is a special type of chord that passes through the center of the circle. Now next, what is it, children? Identify the chords and diameters in this circle. Measure their lengths and record your observations in the following table and write your observations. So what are they saying? Here let us take this circle for example. Now I'll draw few lines in this. Okay, suppose this is our center of the circle, C. Now let me draw some lines. Okay children, again what will we do? We'll name the endpoints A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Now let us write the list of the chord and diameter. What is the list of the chords here? What is a chord again? Chord is nothing but the line segment joining 2 points on the circle. First one, AB. AB becomes a chord. Again, is this a diameter, children? No, it is not a diameter. Why? Because it is not passing through the center. Next, CD. CD is our another chord. It is joining 2 points C and D on the circle. Is it a diameter? Yes. Why? Because it is passing through our center. Next, GH. Again, GH is a chord. It is joining 2 points G and H on the circle. So, is it a diameter? No, because it is not passing through the center. Next, we have EF. Chord EF. Is this a diameter? Yes. Why? Because it is passing through the center of the circle. Next, IJ. IJ is a chord. It is joining the 2 points I and J on the circle. And is it the diameter? No, it is not the diameter of the given circle because it is not passing through our center of the circle. Now again, what is the next activity, children? With the help of a ruler, you have to measure the length of all these chords. What should you do? You should measure the length of all these chords. Now upon measuring, what will we find is that diameter is the longest chord of the given chords. Diameter, what is it? See, this is a diameter and this is a chord. AB is a chord. CD is also a chord, but it is a diameter. Now if you measure the lengths of AB and CD, you will find out that CD is having more length, not more length than our chord AB. So whatever chord you may take, like for example EG, or you can take FI, or you can take any other chord for example. So among all the chords of a circle, the length of the diameter will be the highest. Is this clear, children? The largest chord will be our diameter. Always the largest chord will be our diameter. This is one property of the diameter that you must remember. What is it? The diameter is the longest chord of the given ones. Now coming to our exercise. Measure the circumference of the circles using a thread and a ruler. Again children, so this is a homework activity for you. Draw different sizes of circles and with the help of a thread and ruler. Just now as we have seen, using a thread and ruler, what should you do? First place a thread around the edge of alongside the edge of the circle and then measure the same piece of thread using a ruler. You will get your circumference of the circle. So like this, use different types of circles and then measure the circumference. Coming to 2, Write the names of the marked parts of the circles given below. The first one, it is center. It is a center of the circle. It is just a simple point. Yes, yes. Now coming to B. Now this is a line segment joining two ends of the circle, joining 2 points on the circle. Yes or no? Yes. And again, it is passing through the center of the circle. It is passing through the center of the circle, so it becomes our diameter. Now coming to C, what is it? It is a line segment joining the center and an end and a point on the circle. It is joining our center of the circle and a point on the circle, so it will be radius. Now coming to D. Now D is again a line segment that is joining 2 points on the circle. It is not passing through the center, so it is simply a chord. Now coming to E, see what is it? We have to find out this. They are saying that the entire boundary area. So the entire length of boundary of a circle becomes its circumference. Yes, I hope this is clear. Center is nothing but the middle point of the circle. Diameter is a line segment joining 2 points on the circle and also passing through the center of the circle. Radius is a line segment joining the center of the circle and a point on the circle. Our chord is a line segment joining 2 points on the circle, and circumference is nothing but the length of boundary of the circle. Now coming to true or false. A diameter is also a chord of the circle. Is this true, children? Yes, this is true. A diameter is nothing but a chord of a circle as it is joining 2 points on the circle. Next, different chords of a circle can have different lengths. See, 1, 2. Okay, these are two examples. Let us say this is chord AB and chord CD. Now, do you think the lengths of both these chords are same? No, AB is probably more than CD. Yes, so what can we prove from this? Different chords of a circle have different lengths. So, different chords of a circle can have different lengths. Yes, this is true. Now, coming to see, the lengths of radii of a circle are different. Now, radii is nothing but the plural of radius, children. Okay, the lengths of radii of a circle are different. Now, this is a radius OA. Now, again, I am having OB. OB is also a radius and OA is also a radius of our circle. Now, what is the property of radius is that no matter what you take, like OA, OB, OC, OD, yes, from the circle you can join the line segment to any point on the circle. So no matter what, all the lengths of the radii will be the same. All the lengths of the radii will be the same, children. So what is this? The lengths of the radii of circle are different. This is false. So no matter whichever radius we take, the length of radii, different radii for the same circle, for the same circle, all these radii, the length will be the same. So if you have any doubt like how can the length be the same, you can draw a circle on the paper, yes, and also draw different radii like this and measure the length of each radii and compare whether the length is actually same or not. And coming to the last one, a circle can have only one diameter. This is our circle, so AB is one diameter, again CD is another diameter, EF is another diameter. Now the statement becomes true or false, children. Here itself we have drawn 3 diameters for our given circle. Not only 3, we can draw even more diameters. So is this correct that a circle can have only one diameter? No, it is false. And even just like the radii, the length of all the diameters will be the same. No matter you join the length of all the diameters will be the same, children, no matter which 2 points on the circle you join. All the circles should be passing through the center. Okay, so the length of all these diameters will be the same. The length of the radii will be the same, and also the length of different diameters for the same circle. Remember, for the same circle, it will be the same. The lengths will not be different for the same circle.